Today I'm going to teach you how to write equations of systems of equations from the word problems. So step 1, you need to define your variables. You have to tell me what x represents in the problem and what y represents in the problem, because now we have two objects. Step 2, you're going to write two equations and two variables. Please make sure both equations have two variables. There is one exception to this, and there is an example we'll go over with that. But most of the time, there are two variables. Step 3, you're going to use Desmos to find the solution, which is what we did last week, and that's where they cross. Step 4, make sure you go back and answer the question. Sometimes it only asks for X, sometimes it only asks for Y, sometimes both. A complete sentence is really important right here. Now I'm going to take you through the different types of problems. This is going to encompass 4 different videos, so bear with me. There is a time limit on these videos, so I have to do it in 4 parts. So I'm going to go over each type in a separate video. After a while, you're going to discover that every problem we do fits into one of these 4 types. So let's go over to type 1. Type 1 is usually a money problem. Generally, there is a number of objects, a total number of objects, and they may not use the word total. You have to kind of figure out that there's a total. So one of the equations will be x plus y equals that total. The other, because it's 2 things we're talking about that we're adding together, the other will be in standard form, and it'll have parts all dealing with the money. So let's look at number 1. A park ranger spent $208 to buy 12 trees. Redwood trees cost $24 each, and spruce trees cost $16 each. How many of each tree did the park ranger buy? Well, we're talking about 2 types of trees, redwood trees and spruce trees. So I'm going to let x equal the redwood trees, and I'm going to let y equal the spruce trees. Now I'm going to come down here and write my 2 equations. I have a total number of 12 trees, because nowhere else do I see any other numbers. I got money, 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 and then I got this random 12. Generally, that tells you when don't have enough numbers that one of them is a total number of objects. So if I add the number of spruce trees to the number of redwood trees, I should get a total of 12 trees. Now my second equation is all money. It says $24 for redwood trees, so that would be 24x, plus $16 for spruce trees, which is 16y, equals 208. Now from here, you're going to go to Desmos, and you're actually going to type the 2 equations in. Now I'm just going to copy and paste them because I'm working right here in the document. So I'm going to copy and paste that first one. Make sure you type the entire thing. I know a lot of you, when we did this a couple of weeks ago, you forgot to type the y or you missed a variable. So just kind of pay attention to that. You might need to zoom out a little bit. The standard window is here. So if I zoom out one time, I can see my intersection point is the ordered pair 2, 10. So I know that x is 2 and y is 10. Well, x was the number of redwood trees. So you're going to say the ranger buys 2 redwood trees and 10 spruce trees. And that came from Desmos, in case you weren't sure about that. Now, take a look at number 2. I'd like you to take a moment to pause the video and see if you can do number 2 on your own. And then come back and play when you're ready to see what the answer is. See if you got it right. I'd like you to give it a try, though. See if you can figure it out. Now, this is going to follow the same pattern. So Kristen spent $131 on shirts. Fancy shirts cost $28, and plain shirts cost $15. If she bought a total of 7 shirts, how many of each kind did she buy? Well, let's go through this. We've got fancy shirts. We've got plain shirts. And I know that I have fancy plus plain is going to equal 7 shirts. I also know that $28 for fancy shirts, $15 for plain shirts equals $131. So once again, I'm going to copy and paste this into Desmos. And that'll give you my answer there. And if you look there, my answer is 2.5. So my sentence is she bought 2 fancy and 5 plain.